How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
the end. There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final fight. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be out you.
Won't anybody help us? What are we running for? When there's nowhere we can run to anymore. We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. And with the power of conviction, there is no sacrifice. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible.
Who the fuck is Karlyn? She's just some sweet lady. She's like in a knitting. She does like a knitting stream. She's like a knitting YouTuber. She does knitting.
Can we grow up a little bit and
Alt
not
Euro
be
sent $200.
retarded?
Have you
Please.
seen the work of Karlyn Borysenko? Anti-commie cult leader and is obsessed with looking at what actual far-left communists are talking about and organizing today, infiltrating them. They infiltrated the universities, schools, media. She has the receipts to back it up. Primary source evidence. Infestation is dire and she calls Republicans idiots eating slop. Agree.
Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah, oh, I know Karlyn B. She's solid. She's funny. I
The
like
great
her.
noticer sent 200.
Literally.
So
Not
it's,
Ian.
it's not because
Yeah.
I haven't dangled my junk into the combat zone on purpose to get some camera footage, but that's the big part of what's the
Is that
problem.
what you call reporting?
Go
and live
under, if
streaming?
you're going to do it,
Yeah,
go
seriously.
undercover. Otherwise you're wearing a hunk of meat in a lion's den. Nick Shirley, I love you. Take care of yourself, man. Karlyn Borysenko went undercover. Do stuff like that. Like if you want to expose this thing, don't pariah, please.
But Ian, here's and I agree with you to an extent.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday, everyone. What's up? Look, I'm off to a good start as a professional streamer on the internet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, guys, we have a ton of stuff to do today. And I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we're going to be looking at some Antifa propaganda today. The bad news is that I said that the spy streams we were going to be doing were going to be public, but there has been a change of plans and it's not my fault and I can't tell you why because there are extenuating circumstances involved and you guys will understand someday. I promise I have a very good reason for doing this. But for right now and for the foreseeable future, at least for the next month and a half, spy streams need to be supporter exclusive. They just need to be supporter exclusive. It has nothing to do with all the channel memberships that you guys have been donating because you've been super, super generous. And I really appreciate it. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with protecting the sanctity of my work. There are extenuating circumstances. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I will talk about it at some point when I am able to. And we all need to work together to preserve what we are doing here. And that's just going to be the way it is. And I just don't have a better solution for right now. But we're still going to do the spy streams. We're still going to do them. We're just going to do them behind the paywall, which is kind of like, I mean, to be honest, what we were always doing anyway, up until very recently. And so for right now, we're going to have to go back to the old system with rare exception. Spy stream's going to be supporter exclusive for the moment. And what that means is in order to join us for tonight's double feature spy stream, we are going to be going inside not one, but two leftist organizing meetings back to back, and it's going to be awesome. In order to do that, you need to become a member or a supporter in one of several ways. You could join over on my Substack. That's Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. If you are a supporter on Substack, you can already find the link over there. Just click on the article, scroll down to the bottom. It's the same way it always is. You can find the information over there. You can find the information as a supporter in my locals community. You can find the information as a supporter on Patreon for like the 3 people that support me over there, because pretty much no one does. Everyone supports elsewhere. You can find, if you are a Twitter subscriber, and you can find the information over on Twitter. And of course, if you are a YouTube channel member, you can find the information in the post tab on the YouTube channel. I will show you how to do it real quick, just in case anyone is new and they don't know how to do it. You go to my channel homepage, you go to the post tab, not under this account of mine because I'm not a member of my own channel on this account. But if I were a member of the channel, the very first post that I would see would be the link to Spy Stream tonight for all YouTube channel members. And of course, we can also do some donated channel memberships. Of course, we love donated channel memberships on the stream. We're going to have a little bit probably of a shorter stream today, so maybe I'll set even an abbreviated goal. Why don't we just do a lower goal today, guys? Because we're going to do a little bit of a shorter public stream before we go into Spy Stream. Let's do a 50 channel membership goal, and then if we happen to surpass that, maybe I'll do a stretch goal. But let's do, because we are doing an Antifa propaganda analysis day, let's see if we can get 50 people by the end of this stream, which should be about an hour and 15 minutes from now, to donate channel memberships so that 50 more people can come and join us in Spy Stream later tonight. Chicalago is in with the first one. Chicalago, thank you for that. W, Chicalago. Let's get that in the channel membership goal. See, we're already 2% of the way there. See how easy that is, guys. Thanks so much for the super chat, Chocolate Starfish. What do you call a bulletproof Irishman? Ricochet. You know, that was more appropriate for yesterday, for St. Patty's Day. Like, why didn't we get that dad joke yesterday? That was a misfire on your part, Murphy. Thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. How much does it cost to donate channel memberships? $5 whole bucks. So I don't like the financial barrier to becoming a member on my channel, either by buying your own channel membership or by donating it to someone else. It's $5, guys. It's like less than I pay $5 for a cup of iced coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, like we're not talking about the sun, the moon, and the stars here. So all channel memberships do really go towards supporting my work though and keeping me in business because I am independently funded to cover the far left. I do not take political money from any tribe. I will never show you a political narrative. When you come and watch my content, you know you're getting primary source evidence direct from the horse's mouth. You are seeing for yourself what is really going on in the world. I try to break it down for you and show you the best stuff that I can find and all that good stuff. But you are never paying for a political position, whether you are on the far left or even the far right or anywhere in between, because literally I do have everyone in the political spectrum watching my channel. I have actual neo-Nazis, like actual like far left fascists, far right fascists rather. Oh, not far left, though they would hate that. I have actual neo-Nazis, I have libertarians, I have independents, I have conservatives, I have MAGA people, I have Christians, I have people who are politically homeless, I have disaffected lefties. I have literally every spectrum of politics watching my channel. We don't chill a political narrative here, whether you're on the left or the right or you're somewhere in between or you don't know where the fuck you are welcome here if you want to learn about the far left. And you will never get a narrative. You will always get access to the primary source information. We got W's to Virgo Moon giving a membership. We got W's to Geo Diablo giving a membership. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel, bringing some new people into the stream. I really do appreciate it. Guys, I also want to remind you that this Sunday, we do have a training coming up that is directly relevant to what we're doing because, of course, the No Kings protests are going to be next Saturday. This is going to be a big nationwide event. What I want to do is create an army of volunteers to go inside the No Kings protest in your area. And what I'm going to do on Sunday is I'm going to do a live training where I'm going to give you tips and tricks for going to this event, what you need to look out for, how to stay safe, the types of propaganda you want to collect, just random stuff you need to know to blend in and not stick out. Thank you, Tolkien fan, for the channel membership. W's, bro. Really do appreciate that. On Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, this is going to be a live training. Anyone can sign up for, anyone can join. It is totally for free. You can give a donation when you sign up if you want to, but you don't have to. It's just an option. Don't worry about it if you don't want to or can't afford it. Please sign up for the free show. If you can't make it on Sunday at 5 p.m., sign up anyway, and you will get a link to the recording on demand after it's done so you can watch it on your own time. And then what I want to do, guys, on Saturday, March 21st, I want as many people as possible going to the No Kings protest in their area to see what is going on. Now, of course, the No Kings protest is a progressive protest. It is very important to understand this. The No Kings protest is not a far left protest. It is a progressive protest organized by progressives who want to uphold capitalism, uphold the system, but they go right up to the line and they want to give a lot of free stuff out. We don't like progressives, but we do acknowledge that they are fundamentally different from the far left because the far left wants to overthrow capitalism, destroy capitalism, abolish the government, abolish the Constitution, all those things. Progressives don't want to do that. They just want to go right up to the line of doing that. Progressives tend to be funded by people like George Soros. In fact, he does fund the group that's hosting the No Kings protest, specifically Indivisible. But Indivisible is not a far left group. It is a progressive group run by people that are former Democrats. You want to donate a channel membership? W, Lisa Old Granny. Guys, as a reminder, if you can't find the channel membership button, just send in a $5 super chat to donate a channel membership, and I will count it towards the goal because YouTube's going to YouTube sometime. And W, Lisa, thank you for becoming a member of the cult. You know, your life is over. You're never going to see the world the same way again, but you'll have friends during the Marxist revolution. And, you know, that's pretty rad. That's really all I can do. Anyway, guys, if you want to help me create an all volunteer mass army of people going undercover at the No Kings protest. Oh, so we got to go back and do this. So No Kings is a progressive protest. However, the reason we're doing this is that there will be far left groups at this protest. There will be far left groups that have tables, that are maybe marching in a parade or a protest rally where they're marching down the street and they're all going like this. There will absolutely be far left groups doing that. There will be far left groups there handing out their propaganda, handing out zines, pamphlets, flyers. You might see far left stickers around. What I want people to do is to go to the No Kings protest to see what far left groups are there, what they're handing out, what the propaganda looks like, collect all that stuff, and report back to us. And then we will have a much fuller picture of what far left groups are active where all over the country, what propaganda they're handing out, stuff like that. And we know that the far left groups are going to be at the No Kings protest because today we are going to be reviewing the Antifa plan for mobilizing for the No Kings protest. So CrimeThink is Antifa's publishing website. And when you want to know what Antifa is doing, you go to CrimeThink. It is one of the main sources and one of the main ways they distribute information across their non-hierarchical, decentralized organization nationally. If something gets published in CrimeThink, members of Antifa all over the country are reading it. And just the other day, they issued a mass mobilization saying, here is what we are going to do with the No Kings protest. So Antifa is not organizing the No Kings protest. The progressive group is organizing it, but that's a big ass group of lefties that Antifa's like, can we recruit and radicalize more people over to the far left? That is what they are going there to do. Yo, Survival Raccoon, thank you so much for the super chat, Survival Raccoon. Really appreciate that. W's to Linda in with the 5 gifted channel memberships. Thank you so much, Linda, for handing out some memberships, supporting the channel. We really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. So, guys, we're going to be reviewing this document today to find out what Antifa is doing and how they plan to mobilize for the No Kings protest. And you're going to see it directly from their propaganda. And then on Sunday, we are going to be doing a training to discuss how we can all come together, go to the No Kings protest in our area, because it's going to be a safe way for people to get used to being in leftist environments, collect their propaganda, and then report back so we can get a much fuller picture and really map out what groups on the left are organizing where, what propaganda they're handing out. We're going to create a giant intelligence army that no one else on the internet has, because of course, no one else on the internet knows much more about what the far left is doing than I am. And I'm going to make that information available to everyone as a public service. You're welcome, conservatives. I'm going to make this available to everyone as a public service so that everyone who really wants to know what's going on will have access to this information. W's to Sean over here, giving 5 channel memberships. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Look at that. Lots of new people giving channel memberships today. I love it. I love it when new people come out to support the channel, because it means that someone finds what I do valuable. At least someone finds it valuable. And so I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Guys, we are going to get right into it. Oh, and by the way, if you want to sign up for that training, that is available on the Substack. Again, Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. You can see it's pinned right up here, Infiltrating the Left, the No Kings protest. I've also pinned that to the top of the chat on YouTube, pinned it to the top of the chat on Rumble. Sign up for free. If you can't make it to the live thing on Sunday because you got some sort of excuse about you have to work or you have to play golf or something like that, just sign up anyway. It's totally fine. And you will get a recording of the training when it is done so that you can catch up on your own time when you're not working or playing golf or doing something more important than learning how to go undercover with the left. Yep. It's always golf. It's always golf. Even at 5 p.m. on a Sunday when it's getting dark. Anyway, guys, we got to get into it because we are on a schedule tonight for our spy stream. Oh, you have chores? Okay, well, you're excused. Average person has actually gone undercover with far left groups on like on a long-term basis. So you don't need to go to the beginner entry level training, my friend. You can go do your chores. I appreciate that. Let's see, Gio. I'm in Cali and can do it. I get mistaken for yes, perfect. That's awesome. That's actually ideal. It'll help you blend in. So that is awesome. I'm really looking forward to you doing that. It'll be a great experience. All right, guys, we're going to get into analyzing this document. No Kings, No Masters, Building the Resistance, a call to mobilize at the March 28th No Kings rally. This is published on CrimeThink, which is Antifa's publishing arm. It was published but a few days ago. And it's a long ass document. So actually, maybe it's not that long. It may be really short, but we are going to be listening to this and we are going to learn how Antifa is planning to mobilize for the No Kings Day protest. Let me just make this a little bit smaller so we can actually see it on the screen. There we go. Let me get up my reader because I don't want to read all that stuff. No one wants to read all that stuff. All right, guys, mount the like button if you would be so kind. Help us meet this channel membership goal. We've got, let me see, 34 more memberships to hit our channel membership goal for the day. We will be heading into Spy Stream in a little over an hour. And so if you want to come to Spy Stream tonight, you are going to have to be a channel member. It will be a supporter exclusive Spy Stream. So we got to be gifting out some channel memberships or buy some channel memberships yourself. It's all good, bro. Spy Stream, by the way, for people who don't know what Spy Stream is, we're going to be listening to 2 live leftist organizing calls tonight. That's why we're on a little bit of a schedule. It's also why we're not listening to the Tucker Carlson, Joe Kent interview live, which I would love to do live, and maybe I'll do it later. But we cannot preempt Spy Stream for Tucker. Okay, we can't preempt Spy Stream for Tucker. Spy Stream's got to come first, and so that's what we're gonna do tonight because it's a live call. We can't repeat it if we're not there. All right, let's get this party started and listening to what Antifa has planned.
No kings, no masters, building the resistance. A call to mobilize at the March 28th No Kings rallies. On March 28th, millions of people around the country will participate in the 3rd day of No Kings rallies. We are calling on everyone to engage with these rallies as an opportunity to build towards more concrete forms of organizing and action.
Okay, so I want to just start here by just pointing out Antifa is being highly, highly, highly pragmatic about what they're doing. They're not saying they're sponsoring the No Kings protest. They're not saying they're organizing the No Kings protest. What they're saying is this is an opportunity for us to organize, to recruit more people so that we can do bigger direct actions. They're using it as a recruitment opportunity to find people in the crowd that might be sympathetic. So the people in the crowd at No Kings, this is why it's such a good opportunity for us to kind of use it as a chance. No. We don't do this low IQ retard shit here. First of all, the term is Antifa. We do not engage in this low IQ retardation. We study this from a pragmatic level. We do not do conservative bullshit shit posting. Act like you're in a classroom, bro. Act like a fucking adult. Anyway, the reason the No Kings protest is safe to go into is because there's going to be all sorts of liberals there and progressives there. Antifa doesn't want to get violent in front of the normie Democrats. Antifa doesn't want to get aggressive, and like they are aware that if they get violent and aggressive in front of the normie progressives and liberals and all that stuff, that's going to like blow their cover, because right now the normie progressives and liberals believe that Antifa is like just a bunch of kids running around in costumes having dance parties in the middle of the street. That's actually what these people believe. Do you think Antifa wants to blow their cover? No, of course they don't. They don't do violent, aggressive things when they have an audience of they are like, they're not stupid. They like, it is bad optics. It's not going to help them recruit. It's not going to help them get bigger. They only do violent, destructive things when the normies and the progressives aren't fucking there. So they're being very clear about this. This is a recruiting opportunity. And that's why it is safe to be able to go to the No Kings protest, because they're probably not like, even if they figure you out, they're probably not going to do anything about it. It is a relatively safe environment as long as you are not doing anything to provoke them. And I really have to emphasize this. Do not do anything to provoke them. I completely disavow people going to these protests to get some sort of clickbait bullshit to go viral on the internet, to ask them questions that give away that you're conservative just to own the libs, or to do like something where you're trying to fight them, or you're getting aggressive because you want to provoke them into fighting with you. So again, you can go viral on the internet. We don't do that shit. I completely disavow it. This is about research and intelligence and analysis. No tiki torches. There's a time and a place for tiki torches, in theory, and it is not at the No Kings protest. Okay, it's not when you're dealing with leftist bullshit. That's a bad idea. Okay. And so so that is what they're doing, and they're being very clear about what they're doing, and that is what we want to be there to capture.
We are calling on everyone to engage with these rallies as an opportunity to build towards more concrete forms of organizing and action. You can read an array of options for what you could do here. In October 2025, we published a call for anti-authoritarian blocks at the second No Kings demonstrations.
Okay, I want to show you this, because we covered this at the time too, by the way. This is what they did in the last No Kings protest. Where did they have the flyer here? Shit. This is not the thing I thought it was. So we'll go back to that. But basically, last time there was a No Kings protest, Antifa pre-published a flyer that they went and then handed out at the actual protest to like recruit and radicalize people. But that's not the right page.
Call.
Oh, no. Go back.
In October 2025, we published a call for anti-authoritarian blocks at the second.
Okay, again, conservative retards. I understand that you guys are unable to control your emotions. But you are, okay. Do I have to actually say this? You are in a classroom right now. Would you ever go into a classroom where you were paying to be part of a class and there were other people paying to be part of a class and go, fuck Antifa, or do something else stupid like that? If you would do that in real life, you're a fucking retard and you're being disruptive to the rest of the class and no one likes you and no one wants you here. And if you wouldn't do that in real life, why the fuck are you doing it in my classroom now? I don't want to see any more of this, guys. We are studying a document here. This is a serious deep dive into this document. We are the only fucking people doing this on the internet. No more fucking retardation. Yeah, I do actually get the feeling they probably do that in real life. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For anti-authoritarian blocks at the second No Kings demonstrations. Anarchists across the country engaged with the October No Kings demonstrations in a variety of ways. You can read a collection of reportbacks here. At that time, Trump had just declared Antifa was a major terrorist organization, sowing fear among opponents of the administration. Yet the Trump administration was not able to escalate to a large-scale crackdown on radicals. Federal mercenaries still had their hands full attempting to carry out mass arrests and deportations targeting immigrants. In January 2026, the administration tried to solve this problem by sending thousands of ICE agents to the Twin Cities with the intention of developing a model via which they could go city to city, deporting thousands of people at a time. But the plan backfired, drawing tens of thousands of people into action against ICE and turning public opinion against mass deportations. The fight in the Twin Cities represents a turning point in the history of the second Trump administration.
Okay, well, we're going to listen to that again, but I want to emphasize this. This is what the far left believes. Regardless of whether or not it is what you believe, that does not matter. This is what the far left believes. Trump's plan backfired, drawing tens of thousands of people into action against ICE and turning public opinion against mass deportations. I cannot emphasize this enough. Just because conservative media has stopped covering the anti-ICE activism, because right now they've moved on to other things that are more profitable, just because conservative media stopped covering the anti-ICE activism does not mean the anti-ICE activism has stopped. The reason we are doing so much less coverage of anti-ICE activism right now is not a reflection of whether or not it's happening. It is happening. It's always been happening. It may not be as strong as it was, a month ago. We're not seeing, 100,000 people out in the street. We'll see that on the No Kings Day. Well, we're going to see millions of people out on No Kings Day, guys. No Kings is going to be massive. The organizers of the No Kings protest want it to be 9 million people. So we're going to see a fuck ton of people out on No Kings Day, and no one else is talking about this right now, by the way. But just because you aren't seeing these big mass events right now, like the reason I haven't been covering it as much is because there's no one live streaming it. There's no one live streaming it because it is right now more profitable to do other things. So most journalists on the right, they go wherever the news cycle tells them to go. I cover this shit every fucking day. But if I don't have live streamers on the ground, if I don't have people on the ground actually recording what's going on, because right now it isn't as profitable to record that as it is to record other things, I can't be everywhere and record everything. So I can only cover what is being covered on the ground because I only use primary sources. but I still pay attention to leftist social media. I still pay attention to what's going on in Minneapolis. They haven't slowed down at all. They're doing all the same shit that they were doing before. And the reason that the anti-ICE protesting is keeping up is because they've been on a slow buildup ever since January of 2025. So they've been building up slowly over time. Oh my God, the left always exaggerate. No, they don't actually. No, they don't. No, they don't. This is another example of conservative retardation. No, they don't. Do you know who does lie about the No Kings protest? Conservative retard commentators who go, they aren't doing anything. It's not that big. It's only old white people. It's conservatives who lie about the No Kings protest. It is not the fucking media, and it sure as shit isn't the primary source coverage where we can just see the crowd sizes for ourselves. Do you understand, retard, that I don't cover leftist news media? That's what you guys do. I look at primary source evidence on the ground. We have fucking eyes. We can see what's going on. Stop fucking lying. My God. How much more conservative retardation will we have to deal with today? How much more? I just don't even know. Yeah, like conservatives are going to keep underestimating the enemy until they overthrow the fucking government. Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, the point I'm making is the left fully believes they are winning. Okay. All right. I'm very sorry. Listen, we got to do a deportation vote on this asshole. 1 in the chat if this asshole is too stupid to be here. 2 in the chat if we should give him another chance to smarten the fuck up. Hang on, I got to make sure I can find him later. 1 in the chat if this asshole who thinks there's never been 1 million people at a No Kings protest, when in fact the last No Kings protest was 7 million people. The one before that was 5 million people. They're targeting 9 million people for this protest. And this retarded motherfucker thinks there's never even been 1 million people nationwide at a single one of these protests. 1 in the chat if this retard is too stupid to be here. 2 in the chat if he should stay. I'm very sorry, bro. The community has voted to deport you. Far too stupid to be among us. You are permanently banned from the channel. Go away. The point I'm making with this is that the left believes that they are winning. The right is fucking delusional. And because the left believes that they are winning, they are going to continue to do exactly what they've been doing and only continue to escalate what they've been doing because they believe their tactics are working.
The fight in January 2026, the administration tried to solve this problem by sending thousands of ICE agents to the Twin Cities with the intention of developing a model via which they could go city to city, deporting thousands of people at a time. But the plan backfired, drawing tens of thousands of people into action against ICE and turning public opinion against mass deportations. The fight in the Twin Cities represents a turning point in the history of the second Trump administration. At the grassroots level, the social and political distance between the various forces opposed to Trump is shrinking. The No Kings demonstrations offer an opportunity to consolidate these connections, taking advantage of the widespread popularity of the resistance in Minnesota. Repression is ramping up in regions under the control of Trump's allies, exemplified by the absurd conviction of 9 defendants in the first Prairieland trial. Yet the federal government has picked too many fights at once and is now bogged down.
Oh, this is another thing we need to look into. So the whole Prairieland trial. By the way, do you guys know that that the right thinks that because they got a guilty verdict in that ICE shooting trial in Texas? Do you guys know that the right thinks that they defeated Antifa because they got a guilty verdict in that trial? Of course they were going to get a fucking guilty verdict in that trial. Those retards literally shot up an ICE facility. And because those retards were convicted, the right is now convinced, and I swear to God this is true, they are convinced that they have defeated Antifa because they got 9 people convicted of shooting up an ICE facility in Texas. It's like one of the biggest moments of retardation I've ever seen. Bosnots, thanks so much for the super chat. Once the cameras are back, the right will be surprised. It's literally the light in the refrigerator. Yup. Oh yeah. There's going to be a giant fuck off protest in about a week and a half, and they literally have no idea it's coming. It's going to be glorious. But the point I want to make about that Texas trial is the way the left is framing the Antifa trial in Texas is roughly akin to, these were just peaceful protesters and they just had these peaceful leftist zines in their car. And look at the evil government infringing on the peaceful protesting of the anti-fascist activists. Now keep in mind, these retards shot up a fucking ICE facility. They literally opened fire on a fucking ICE facility. And so of course they're not innocent peaceful protesters, but that is how the left is framing it. And they are trying to mobilize in defense of these convicted Antifa people. And at the same time, the right is convinced that they've completely defeated all of Antifa because they convicted 9 people. It's like, you know, both sides are delusional. Anyway, I'm going to go back. We're going to read this again, starting here.
The fight in the Twin Cities represents a turning point in the history of the second Trump administration. At the grassroots level, the social and political distance between the various forces opposed to Trump is shrinking. The No Kings demonstrations offer an opportunity to consolidate these connections, taking advantage of the widespread popularity of the resistance in Minnesota.
So they're being extremely specific here. They're saying we are trying to build upon the momentum that was created by Minnesota, exporting that nationwide and utilizing the No Kings protest as our fertile recruiting ground to really build on this momentum and sustain this momentum. They are trying to figure out, how do we sustain the anti-ICE activism for the long term, at least leading up to the midterms? But I mean, they will sustain this shit for years if they have to, because it's been such a successful recruiting point for them.
The No Kings demonstration repression is ramping up in regions under the control of Trump's allies, exemplified by the absurd conviction of 9 defendants in the first Prairieland trial. Yet the federal government has picked too many fights at once and is now bogged down from Minneapolis to the Strait of Hormuz. The most effective way to maximize the security of participants in any movement is to expand the numbers of people who participate and escalate the pressure altogether, so the authorities can't isolate and target individuals.
Okay, so what they're saying here is, right now, because Trump has started this stupid fucking war in Iran, and because they're doing too many other things, they do not believe, and they're probably quite frankly correct about this, Antifa does not believe that the Trump administration has the resources to adequately fight them and all of the national anti-ICE organizing that they want to do. I really want people to understand this. This is a very strategic call to say, listen, they just convicted 9 people in this Antifa trial, but Trump is now fucking around in Iran. He's got all this other stuff going on. He's not even really paying attention to us now. And no, was I unclear with you? Was I unclear with you? I'm very sorry. Like, we need to do a deportation vote with this guy. 1 in the chat if you think this guy is too stupid to be here. 2 in the chat if we need to give him 1 more chance. And by 1 more chance, I mean 1 more fucking chance. 1 in the chat if you think this guy is too stupid to be here. 2 in the chat if you think we need to give him 1 more chance. The community is deciding, bro, not me. And I assure you, there's very few people here that would consider themselves to be on the left. Most of us are probably farther right than you are. I'm going to give you a 5-minute timeout. And the community is voting to deport you, by the way. I am going to act in a benevolent manner and give you a 5-minute time out. And if you ever come back in my chat again and say more of this retard shit, then we are going to permanently ban you, and you're not even going to get a deportation vote this time. I'm just going to permanently ban you because the chat actually voted to permanently ban you that time. But I am giving you a 5-minute timeout reprieve to actually, bro, listen, on your 5-minute timeout, I need you to pay very close attention to this instructional video.
You take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up. Sometimes shutting the fuck up is the best thing you can do.
So, shut the fuck up, sit down, try not to fucking break anything. You say any more retarded shit in my chat, you're going to be removed. Okay? So, what Antifa is saying here is that the Trump administration does not have the resources to adequately fight us on American soil. And this presents an opportunity for us. And the most effective way that we can fight the Trump administration is to continue to expand our numbers, because if we continue to expand our numbers, there is no way that the Trump administration and the evil fascist authorities can target individuals, or it's going to be much, much harder to target individuals. Does everyone understand what they're saying? This is not mental illness. This is actually a pretty accurate analysis. The Trump administration is overcommitted. They aren't really paying attention to what most Antifa groups are doing anyway. Antifa wants to capitalize on the anti-ICE activism in Minnesota. They want to expand all that nationally, and they're making a bet that if they just keep growing their numbers and they get more and more and more people, it's going to become extremely difficult for the Trump administration to target individuals. And so that is the bet that they are making. One in the chat if you're following along, two in the chat if you're confused. I just want to make sure everyone's following along. And if you aren't and you're new and you haven't studied this stuff before, that's okay, but you have to make sure to ask questions, all right? It's always okay to ask questions if you have questions. It's just not okay to be a retard and a, dick. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys.
The repression is ramping up in regions under the control of Trump's allies, exemplified by the absurd conviction of 9 defendants in the first Prairieland trial. Yet the federal government has picked too many fights at once and is now bogged down from Minneapolis to the Strait of Hormuz. The most effective way to maximize the security of participants in any movement is to expand the numbers of people who participate and escalate the pressure altogether, so the authorities can't isolate and target individuals. As one anarchist said after the October No Kings demonstrations, thus far, for the most part,
The reader skipped it. Okay, as one anarchist said after the October No Kings demonstration, what the hell are people talking about it being dangerous for anarchists to be in No Kings? It's dangerous for us to not be there. What they mean when they say it's dangerous for us to not be there is Antifa and the people organizing the No Kings protest don't share the same ideology. I discussed this earlier, but just a quick review. Progressives who are organizing the No Kings protest do not want to overthrow capitalism. Antifa wants to overthrow capitalism. Capitalism in this case means the United States government and the Constitution, because both of those are institutions built on capitalism, and capitalism cannot be overthrown in the view of the left unless you abolish the government and abolish the Constitution. Progressives don't want to abolish the government and the Constitution. They just want the government to give out a lot of free shit. And so that walks right up to the line of abolishing capitalism, but they are not in favor of abolishing the government and the Constitution. That's a line that they don't cross. They still want to protect those institutions. So these are two really fundamentally different worldviews. Antifa wants to abolish the government. Progressives do not want to abolish the government. And so what Antifa is saying is it's dangerous for us not to be there. It's dangerous for us because if we're not there and we're not spreading our message and we're not recruiting and radicalizing people from this group, then they are going to get a progressive message, which is not what we want. It does not reflect the vision of the world that we have. So Antifa is not in favor of what the progressive message is. So if the progressive message is the only thing that people are hearing at the No Kings Day protest, what that means is Antifa is losing and progressives are winning. Does everyone understand that? That's why it's dangerous for them not to be there, because they don't want people taken in by a progressive worldview when they could instead be recruited and radicalized to the far left and have a far more revolutionary view and be utilized to achieve those means. W's in the chat, Logo. Thank you so much for the channel membership. Really appreciate that. We are up to 17 of our goal. Guys, can we hit 50 before we end the stream? We've got about half an hour to get 33 more channel memberships. Can we do it? Do you guys appreciate this class I'm giving you today? Let me know by sending in some channel memberships. I would appreciate it. Tiffanel over on Rumble, thank you so much for the Rumble rant. Karlyn, I know I am late. Have you reminded the new people the left is always recruiting and planning for growth? They want momentum. Yeah, I think I've covered that. Yeah, I think I have, Tiffanel. Thanks so much for the Rumble rant. I do appreciate it. Let's see. So progressives want the government to be no. Communist wants to overthrow the government. Communists would not have a government. Communist wants to overthrow the government. Progressives do not want the government to be communist. That is a conservative bullshit talking point. That is not reality. Progressives want the current United States government and the current constitution to hand out shit for free. That's what they want. And again, you can always find more information, Moon Goddess, by going to decodetheleft.com/map. That is the map to understanding the different groups. And so that's your reference point. I'm sure someone will put that in the chat for you. No, as I have explained, 4 or 5 times now, Mariana. So they march on side by side with progressives. No, they're not there to support the progressives. They are there to recruit and radicalize more people to their cause. They're not there to support Indivisible. They don't support Indivisible. They don't like Indivisible. They don't want Indivisible to win. They are there because it is a massive crowd of people that they can use to recruit and radicalize more people to the far left. That is why they are there. If they are marching, it is because they are using it as an opportunity to connect with more people to recruit and radicalize more people. Do progressives know? Yes. Everyone on the left knows this. It's only people on the right who don't know this. Don't worry about it. It's always okay to ask a question. I do appreciate you asking the question. Don't worry about it. But yes, that they all know this. Everyone is aware. I promise you. We got W's for Loki with the channel membership. Thank you so much, Loki. We got W's for Prita, 5 channel memberships. Now we're up to 6. We're welcoming Lily to the channel. Thank you so much, Lily. That's 7. Valkyrie gifted a channel membership. W bro, that's 8. So let me add, okay, so now we're up to like, what, 25? Guys, we are halfway to our 50 channel membership goal. Let's make sure we're getting there before the end of the stream. If 5 people send in 5 channel memberships, we're welcoming 50 more people in before our spy stream in about 45 minutes. Let's continue the document.
Thus far, for the most part, the No Kings rallies have not functioned to connect people in active networks to build a capacity to fight. Rather, they have functioned as symbolic expressions of dissatisfaction, revealing anger with both the Republicans and the Democrats.
Okay, here's the difference between Antifa and the No Kings organizers, who again are progressives. Antifa believes the No Kings rallies have failed to connect people in active networks to build capacity to fight. Instead, they believe the progressive organized No Kings events are just opportunities for progressives and Democrats to show they're pissed off, or even Republicans in this case. They're saying Republicans are going too. They're probably right about that, honestly. So what they're saying is, listen, these No Kings protesters, they're not actually doing anything. They're just having a big day of action to show they're pissed off. It's basically a media stunt. It's a publicity stunt, but they are not organizing into like direct action cells that go and actually do things. And so that is the disconnect that Antifa is seeing. They're saying there's a whole bunch of motivated people going to these protests, but the organizers of the protests aren't actually doing anything with those people because this is just a giant publicity stunt for them, and they're not wrong about that. And so what Antifa wants to do is harness this energy of this dissatisfaction to say, come with us, come with us, come to our side.
Rather, they have functioned as symbolic expressions of dissatisfaction, revealing anger with both the Republicans and the Democrats. They have shown that there is mass opposition to the regime, but it remains to us to create opportunities for that opposition to assume concrete forms.
It remains to us to create opportunities for that opposition to assume concrete forms. Antifa has no expectation that the progressive groups organizing the No Kings protests are going to do anything with these people. Antifa believes it is their job to corral the people to actually organize them into violent, destructive, direct action. W. Surrey for the 5 channel memberships. Thanks so much, bro. Guys, we are 20 channel memberships away from hitting our goal today. We are almost there. 4 more people donate 5 channel memberships. I will shut the fuck up about channel memberships and we can just focus on this.
They have shown that there is mass opposition to the regime, but it remains to us to create opportunities for that opposition to assume concrete forms. The time is ripe. Let's rise to the occasion. What you can do at No Kings. Here is an array of options, from most ambitious to easiest. Whoever you are, whatever resources you have at your disposal, there's something you can do.
Hey, Malcolm! Malcolm's back after I kicked him off the channel yesterday for voting Republican. Malcolm, W's in the chat. Malcolm, see, I knew you couldn't quit me. I knew when I kicked you off the channel for voting Republican and you said bye, I knew you were going to come back. I knew it. I was confident, Malcolm. I wasn't worried about it at all. Welcome back. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. We're going to welcome you back even if you vote for Republicans, because we know, Malcolm, you're going to come to regret that decision later. We know you might. There's plenty of time between now and November too, Malcolm, and so we have plenty of time to convince you to not be dumb and vote Republican, because it is a wasted vote for a party that hates you and doesn't care about you, and they need to fucking lose. But you know what? You're gonna have to come to that conclusion on your own. I'm just glad you're back, and I'm glad you're donating channel memberships. And I knew you'd be back, and so W me, NW you, NW everyone else. Look at that. Look at that. Even when I kick people off the channel, they just can't quit me. Okay, here's what I want people to know. Back to this. Whoever you are, whatever resources you have, there is something that you can do. The goal of this is to get people to do something, anything, even if it's a low commitment thing, because if they can get you to do one thing, then they can get you to do another thing. And if they can get you to do another thing, maybe then someday you do a bigger thing. This is just about getting people in the pipeline to say, come and help us do this. Come hand out flyers or do something in your area or something like that. Just do something. W's to Anthony for the membership. Really appreciate that, bro. Thanks so much. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I don't like using the word grooming. I understand why you're using the word grooming, Dan. I don't like using that word, and the reason is grooming to me implies doing like sexual things with underage kids. That's kind of what, or convincing kids that gender doesn't exist. Regardless of whether or not it's sexual or it's related to gender, grooming to me implies underage people, and I think we need to be very specific about that. Well, no, but the thing is, Stan, like there are people who try to apply grooming to adults, and I'm kind of like, can we tell adults to take personal responsibility for their actions? Like, is that too much to ask? So I don't like the word grooming, although I do understand why you kind of say this might be grooming. It's not. Guys, these are adults. They're not being groomed. These are adults. These are adults that have different values than you, that see the world differently than you do, that are being reached out to by a group saying, we can help you solve your problems. We can help make the world a better place. I think calling that grooming diminishes the personal capacity of the individual and the personal agency of the individual.
Whoever you are, whatever resources you have at your disposal, there's something you can do. Call for an anti-authoritarian bloc. Get together with your friends and form a bloc at the rally. With 4 people, you can paint a big banner proclaiming your politics. With a dozen or more.
All right, we have someone working out their feelings in the chat. Oh, it's the retarded guy. I've been 35 years in the Patriot movement. I'm not some greenhorn or new jack that needs a class on Antifa. Okay, bro. Okay, retard. Here's your last chance. What is the left's definition of capitalism? You've spent 35 years studying the left. What is the left's definition of capitalism, retard? You have 30 seconds to answer. Go. No one else answer. What is the left's definition of capitalism, retard? AJ, we're waiting for your answer. You know everything and we know nothing. You don't need a class on Antifa because I know everything about progressives and Antifa, and I'm here to teach you everything I know with my 35 years of whatever the fuck. What is the left's definition of capitalism? You have 10 seconds to answer me or you're being permanently banned from the channel. Be a fucking man and answer the fucking question. What a massive fucking pussy you are, bro. What a massive fucking pussy you are to come into my classroom and pretend you know fucking everything when in fact you don't know basic 101 level information. Be a man, answer the fucking question. What is the left's definition of capitalism? Go. You know everything? Then show it with your actions. And I'm giving you 15 more seconds to answer the fucking question before I permanently ban your ass from my channel and never invite you back for being too fucking stupid to be here. Why am I cussing? Get the fuck off my channel. Go away. Answer the question. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Permanently banned. Couldn't answer the question. Uh-oh, no, another conservative retard. Kick the fuck out. Bye. Go away. Bye. The answer, by the way, is private property ownership. That asshole had no idea. And that is how we know who knows about the left and who doesn't. Back to this for smart people.
With 4, call for an anti-authoritarian bloc. Get together with your friends and form a bloc at the rally. With 4 people, you can paint a big banner proclaiming your politics. With a dozen or more, you might be one of the most organized and visible blocs in the demonstration. Announce your bloc and tell people how to participate. For example, meet at the black flags at a specific intersection. You could start before the main rally begins and move to it in a group, forming a feeder march. In October, a small block of anti-authoritarians in one small city spontaneously led the entire rally in an unpermitted march all around downtown. If you have good relations with the rally organizers where you are, you could coordinate with them to play a specific role in the march, for example, dealing with counter-protesters, or leading participants to an action at a local target, such as a federal building or IC facility.
Okay, I want to point this out. What they're saying is that they're trying to take advantage of like the No Kings crowd, and then maybe you get a group of people from the No Kings crowd that are all fired up and they're all ready to go. You go do an action at a local target. You go do an action at a local ICE facility. You take the people away. Oh my God. Why in the ever-loving fuck are we getting so many conservative retards in here today? Go the fuck away, asshole. My God. Antifa is a joke. Okay. Yeah, go the fuck away. I can't. Jesus fucking Christ. The biggest problem we have to deal with in fighting the left is literally the conservative right every single day. Literally every single fucking day. What Antifa is saying, and by the way, if you're going to the No Kings protest to collect intelligence and you have the opportunity to follow Antifa to go to an action at a target or to go to an ICE facility or go do something else, you should absolutely do that. I'm not saying do anything illegal. Don't do anything fucking illegal. But if you see one of these Antifa groups and they're trying to get people together to basically get them to go do something else separate from the protest, you follow them, you tag along, you play dumb, and you go with them and you go see what they're doing and you record that shit or take photos of it, keeping yourself safe. Obviously, you want to do this in public where there are other people around and things like that. But that is a golden opportunity and a golden thing to look for if you're going undercover anyway to try to gather this information.
Or leading participants.
Guys, I got to step away for a second because I left my big box of water in the hallway out there. I'm going to let this play. We're going to listen. I'm going to let this play again. I'm going to step away for 1 second and I will be right back. But I'm going to let this play again so you guys can hear.
In October, a small block of anti-authoritarians in one small city spontaneously led the entire rally in an unpermitted march all around downtown. If you have good relations with the rally organizers where you are, you could coordinate with them to play a specific role in the march, for example, dealing with counter-protesters, or leading participants to an action at a local target, such as a federal building or IC facility. Publicize a follow-up event. Plan an event or a series of events to take place after the rally. Distribute flyers at the rally spreading the word. You could bring someone who has participated in resisting IC in the Twin Cities to speak about the power of direct action, or a person from the Palestinian, Venezuelan, or Iranian diasporas to speak about the impact of Trump's imperialist ventures. You could organize a teach-in about a local.
So I want to emphasize this again. Antifa wants to give people stuff to do, to get them into to get them into their ecosystem, okay? So it's not just necessarily like impromptu things. They're saying, okay, take a look at the schedule of the No King's Day protest and then go to your radical bookstore or wherever and have some sort of educational event after the No King's protest. So maybe the No King's protest is going on during the day. Why don't you do like a book reading, a socialist book reading at your local radical bookstore that night? You can invite people there, or you can have a happy hour somewhere and invite people there to talk about what you're going to do next or things like that. They're actually saying go and plan your own radical event at some sort of radical location. Go to the No King's protest, hand out flyers at the event, or maybe it doesn't even need to be on the same day. Maybe it could be later that week or something like that. So like, oh, you're at this protest, come to our event next week or whatever, and handing out flyers. You're probably going to see things around the neighborhood for different events like that, depending on what city you're in or where you're looking. They're probably going to hang stuff up saying, why don't you come here on this date for the next thing? Because again, they're trying to reach the people in that crowd that they can reach. Everyone understand?
You could organize, plan an event or a series of events to take place after the rally. Distribute flyers at the rally spreading the word. You could bring someone who has participated in resisting IC in the Twin Cities to speak about the power of direct action, or a person from the Palestinian, Venezuelan, or Iranian diasporas to speak about the impact of Trump's imperialist ventures. You could organize a teach-in about a local issue, followed by a demonstration addressing it. You could organize an assembly, a skill share, a local rapid response network, or film screening. Whatever you plan, make it accessible to the wide range of people you can expect to encounter at the No King's demonstration, but pointing the way to a more radical framework.
See? Whatever you plan, make it accessible to a wide range of people. That means Democrats, that means liberals, that means progressives, that means people who are not necessarily Antifa already. They're trying to bring more people into the fold. But hang on, wide range of people you can expect to encounter at a No King's demonstration, but pointing the way to a more radical framework with each event building upon the last. So what they're saying is slowly walk all the Democrats and liberals and progressives that you're going to meet at the No King's protest, just slowly walk them into being hardcore revolutionary anarchists. We got to have one event, and then maybe you have a follow-up event, and then maybe you have another event after that, and in every single event, you're sprinkling out a little bit more, and you're saying, wouldn't it be nice if we had universal healthcare? Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have ICE anymore and there were no more of these evil kidnappings? Yeah, that would be great. Wouldn't it be nice if everyone had access to all the food they wanted and all the housing? Yeah, that would be awesome. You're slow walking them back into a radical revolutionary communist like echo chamber where you're going to say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get people this. We're going to get people that. We're going to abolish ICE. We're going to get universal healthcare. We're going to get all this stuff for everyone. Everyone's always going to have what they need. That means the abolition of capitalism, the overthrow of the government, the abolition of the Constitution, and the abolition of private property, the nuclear family, gender, and all sorts of other weird shit. Okay? It sounds really good when you're a Democrat, and I say this as a former Democrat. It sounds really good to say, wouldn't you just like to do this and wouldn't you just like to do that? Yeah, I want people to have everything they need. I want people to have healthcare. I want people to be taken care of. I want people to have this, that, and the other. Okay, well, come with us. We're doing those things. That is how people get slow walked back into a cult.
Whatever you plan, make it accessible to the wide range of people you can expect to encounter at the No King's demonstration, but pointing the way to a more radical framework, with each event building upon the last. Envision a future in which your community looks back at the No King's rally as the beginning of a new chapter of radical resistance. Make as many flyers as you expect to see participants at the demonstration. If the last No King's demonstration in your town brought out 1,000 people, you need at least 1,000 flyers.
How are they making those flyers, you ask? They're getting 2 reams of paper and they're printing them on their printers. That's how they're making them, guys. They're getting 2 reams. They're going to Staples. They're getting 2 reams of paper. They're printing them on their printers. Or they may even just have Staples print it for them. They may just deliver the flyer to Staples and say, can you print this out for us? And Staples will be like, yeah, that's gonna be about $20. And yep. And then they'll do that. That's what they're doing. Okay. That's how they're funding it. What we need to take away from this, though, is when you guys are going to the No Kings protest to go undercover and to collect their propaganda, you need to here's what you need to do. And I'll talk about this on the webinar on Sunday, too. Bring a bag with you. If you are planning on going to the No Kings protest to see what's going on, you have to bring some sort of bag. And this is a lesson I learned the hard way the first time I got caught up in one of these things and I didn't have a bag with me. And I'm not talking like a little bag, like a purse. I'm talking about like a tote bag or a backpack or something that you can put a substantial amount of information in. And then, and you might not fill it up, that's fine. But I'll tell you, on a lot of these leftist events I've gone undercover at, I bring a tote bag and do I even have one over here? No, I don't have one accessible. I bring a giant ass tote bag and I fill the fuck out of that tote bag with propaganda, with pamphlets, with newspapers, with flyers. If you see someone handing something out at the protest, you take it. If there are people doing tabling at the protest, go to every single table and take as much stuff as you can. You don't need to look at all of it when you're there. Just be like, oh, I just want some more information, and they'll give you everything on their table, and just take it and say, okay, I'm going to look at this, put it in your bag, and add it to the collection. Okay, you don't need to look at everything that you're given, but if you're handed a flyer, you collect that flyer. If you're handed a newspaper, chances are if you're handed a newspaper of some sort, that's going to be like a communist newspaper or a far left newspaper. Take the fucking newspaper. You can always look at it later. Okay, if you see zines hanging around, if you see stacks of like, things that are just being like, if you run into a table that is just full of like zines, then just fucking take as many as you can. Take all of their zines. Literally take all of them. Sometimes they'll ask for like a donation. If you have $5, you can throw them. I always bring cash to these things because sometimes they want you to pay for it. And sometimes it's worth paying for it. I do try to pay for it, like just to get access to the information. But you might want to bring just a little bit of cash, like $5-10 that you can like in ones, like preferably, because then you can just drop a couple of ones and they usually take that or whatever. But most of them don't even require that. It's like all voluntary donation. So collect as much propaganda as you can. Some places may have a lot of propaganda. Some places may not have as much. It really depends on what city you're in, but you've got to bring a bag. And I promise you, you will regret it if you don't, especially if you're in a major city. Have a backpack, have a tote bag, something that you can put a substantial amount of stuff in, and just pick up every single thing you can and look through it later when you get home.
If the last No Kings demonstration in your town brought out 1,000 people, you need at least 1,000 flyers. Have zines with distro. Set up a zine table at your local No Kings protest.
Set up a zine table at your local No Kings protest. Just what I was saying. What is a zine, you ask? A zine is going to look like this. A zine is a printed booklet of information. It's literally just paper stapled together or folded together in the form of a little booklet. It's a little bit bigger than a pamphlet. It's bigger than like just a flyer. It's actual like several pages usually worth of information about different topics. There will be, at some No Kings protests, there will be entire tables set up with zines just like this. I'm talking huge ass tables with dozens and dozens and dozens of these. If you see one of those tables, go and take every single thing they have at that table, put it in your bag, and read it later. You're going to get a lot. If you run into an Antifa zine table, you take fucking everything they have, every single thing, and they're going to love it too. You can just be like, oh my God, this, like, here's what you do. Oh my God, this stuff is so great. Oh my God, I've been looking for stuff like this. Can I take all of this? And they're going to be like, yeah, take all of it. Because they want you to take all of it. They want you to read all this stuff. Like, you got to act like a total fucking noob. Do not question them. You're probably going to see Plan B and other like paraphernalia on the table. There's going to be other mutual aid shit out on the table. Do not. Is it really safer at the front? Don't do that shit. Just be like, oh my God, this is so great. I've been looking around for stuff like this. Collect as much of it as you can. Put it all in your bag. Say you're collecting it. I got to get some of this stuff for my friends. Oh my God, can I take one for my friend? Yes, they will give you fucking everything. And that's all you need to do, okay? These right here, the zines are the key to the kingdom. If you can collect the zines and then report back to us what zines are where, the zines will tell you all the information that you need to know, okay? So that's a really, really critical point. Yeah, it's a high-quality Soros-funded zine. Yeah, you're right about that. This is a high-quality Soros-funded zine that was printed. Oh, I thought this... No, they do have staples in this one. They do. They have staples in it. Yep. I thought it was just folded. Most of them are just folded. Yeah, also, you won't be lying when you say friends want to see them, because we do want to see them. I would say independent. I would say, you know what? Here's what I would say if they ask you you're a Democrat or something like that. You know what? The Democratic Party's really left me down. They're not speaking out aggressively against abolishing ICE. They're not speaking out against the war, or they're not being as vocal against Trump as I want them to be. They're not speaking out against Israel. And like, honestly, like, fuck the Democrats. I'm getting really sick of the Democrats because they aren't speaking out against Israel. They're voting to fund ICE. Like, I'm kind of sick of the fucking Democrats. That's what I would say. Something like that. Oh yeah, I bet we are. Yeah, I bet that's a really good inclination.
Set up a zine table at your local No Kings protest. For some people, these might be the first zines they've ever read. Focus on approachable and introductory texts. But don't...
What's a zine? What is this? Oh my God, I've never even seen these before.
Focus on approachable and introductory texts. But don't conceal your radical positions. Many people are hungry for real alternatives now. Crime-Think and Sprout Distro offer good selections of PDFs to print. Don't overwhelm...
So we know about, obviously, Crime-Think has a zine archive. Sprout Distro, if you want to see their zines, Sprout Distro is a massive fucking zine archive. I mean, you can see, like, you hear the latest thing that they've got on there. How to do it anyway. A guide to self-managing abortion at home. I actually have this zine. I actually have I got one of these in person. So they're teaching how to self-manage abortion. Don't ever trust cops, an abbreviated do-it-yourself guide to making a jail support plan. They got all sorts of crazy shit on here. So Sprout Distro is something that's interesting if you want to look at it. Crime-Think also has their own zine archive. All of these are available for free. You can print off all of them, bring them to these events. That is what they want you to do with them.
Sprout Distro.
Yep.
Offer good selections of PDFs to print. Don't overwhelm browsers with too many titles. Focus on bringing a few solid zines that you can stand behind on the topics that will best equip you to connect with people of other walks of life. Read material before tabling so you can answer questions and provide recommendations. Invite people to your table and engage them in conversation. Share the beauty and joy of anarchy. If you hurry, there's still time to order our Immigrants Welcome stickers here, an array of posters here, and copies of A Change Everything, our introduction to anarchism here.
So Crime-Think will actually sell you stickers and things to hand out at these events. They're not expensive. They're basically charging the cost to make the stickers, but you can actually buy stuff from them to distribute at events like this.
If you hurry, there's still time to order our Immigrants Welcome stickers here, an array of posters here, and copies of A Change Everything, our introduction to anarchism.
It's not capitalism because there's no profit.
See below for an array of zines you could use. Promote defendant and prisoner support. Display banners and distribute flyers educating your fellow demonstrators about the plight of deportees, political prisoners, and defendants and what they can do to support them. This is a good time to publicize the Prairieland case in particular. At one No Kings rally last October, Asheville anarchists distributed thousands of red bandanas, invoking the history of labor struggles in Appalachia, inviting demonstrators to wear them as a gesture of solidarity with the Prairieland defendants.
See, they are starting to organize, like, in defense of those Prairieland defendants. Like, I think it's got them freaked out a little bit that people got convicted of that. But again, they shot up a nice facility, so what can you do? But, like, I guess that's another thing we need to keep an eye out for specifically is what are they doing to promote this specific Prairieland case and how are they trying to organize around it? That's something we want to be looking for specifically.
At one No Kings rally last October, Asheville anarchists distributed thousands of red bandanas, invoking the history of labor struggles in Appalachia, inviting demonstrators to wear them as a gesture of solidarity with the Prairieland defendants, publicized targets, connect attendees to local struggles against IC infrastructure, such as deportation facilities and flock cameras, or against other threats, such as AI data centers. Distribute information about the locations and
okay. To be really clear, no, it's not. No, it's not. Antifa is not afraid of getting convicted of crimes. Antifa almost never gets convicted of crimes. And quite frankly, you guys don't want to hear this? They're probably going to get off. Just wait. Just wait. They're probably going to end up getting off. Antifa is not afraid of getting convicted of crimes. They actually talk about this. But this is, again, it is something that they can organize around. And it's something that they're using to fire people up to say they're going after peaceful protesters. They're not afraid of getting convicted of crimes, though. They're really, they openly talk about how they might arrest us. We might spend a night in jail. But, you know, we pretty much never get convicted of shit.
Distribute information about the locations and vulnerabilities of these targets, and a few easy actions that anyone can take against them. For best results, of course, connect this with promote a follow-up event. Above, be someone's radical moment. Many of us remember the moment when we first encountered radical politics. Maybe yours was the alter globalization movement, Occupy, the George Floyd uprising, or the student intifada. Some participants at No Kings are not going to be open to hearing radical critiques of capitalism and the state, but make it your mission to find the ones who are ready to join the struggle, who just need a framework and an idea of where to begin.
I mean, think about how pragmatic. It's just so striking to me. Like, right now, the conservative right is doing their best to kick groypers out of the Republican Party. Did everyone see this? The California Republican Party is actually proactively trying to kick out groypers, which means they're trying to kick out all of the young men who are really excited about politics. Great fucking idea, Republicans. Great idea to kick people out of your party if you want to get votes and win elections. Like, the brain trust running the Republican Party is just fucking astounding. But, like, really think about this. Antifa is being more strategic about recruiting and radicalizing people to the far left than the Republicans are about recruiting voters to vote Republican in November. Antifa is being more strategic to say, listen, not everyone's going to be open to this anti-capitalist overthrowing the government thing just yet. But we need to talk to them. We need to meet them where they are, and we need to talk to them, and we need to find people that might be close to that, and we need to move them slowly over to the far left. Antifa is actually being very pragmatic about this to say, not everyone's going to be open to this message yet, but there are going to be some people who are open to it, and there's going to be some people that are getting close to being open to it, and those are the people we need to find, and we need to talk to them in a way that's approachable and empathetic and all that. Whereas you have the contrasting Republican Party who's kicking out all of the young men because they're pissed off that they don't support Israel, and they're saying, fuck you, grapers, you can't sit with us. And it's just like, it is fucking mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. Antifa is smarter than the conservative brain trust. Let's see. In a worst case scenario, what do we do if we encounter trouble or if someone confronts us about being there? Just say, I don't know what you're talking about, and walk away. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm just here to, I just wanted this information, but I guess, okay, whatever. And just walk away. That's it. You're not going to get, again, they're not going to get violent with you at the No Kings protest. But, like, also, if you're doing something that exposes yourself as a spy, if you're like that, like, that's gonna be something that you caused, and you need to understand that. There is nothing that there's like literally nothing that you should be doing that should make them suspicious that you are a spy. Like, that shouldn't happen. So step one, don't expose yourself. Step two, if they try to call you out, and just be like, I don't, like, what the fuck, bro? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and just walk away. Yeah, do not ask them how they're funded at all. in any way.
Some participants at No Kings are not going to be open to hearing radical critiques of capitalism and the state, but make it your mission to find the ones who are ready to join the struggle, who just need a framework and an idea of where to begin. Talk to them about their views and how those might fit within a larger global history of resistance. It's not about convincing them, but sharing tools to give a name to their longing for liberation. May we sow the seeds of resistance to the state and capitalism. May the branches of our efforts reach toward the sky, towards liberation.
They are sowing the seeds of resistance to the state and capitalism. And they've got some more resources here. They've got an appendix. They've got more literature to just. Oh, look, that's actually the zine I showed you guys right here. Look at this. That's literally the one I showed you guys. It's safer because I got this zine at an Antifa table at one of the Antifa events I went to. So literally, I got a crime thing. I have a ton of this shit though. I have a ton of this shit. Okay, you can go see more information about this over on Crime Think's website. You can follow all those links if you want more information. Again, this will be something that we discuss on Sunday when we do our Infiltrating the Left training. For everyone that wants to come and volunteer and go undercover at the No Kings protest and help us collect this type of information, I will be doing a full training of this on Sunday. You can find the link by going to karlyn.substack.com and clicking on this link in the upper right-hand corner, Infiltrating the Left, the No Kings protest. There should be a link pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube and on Rumble. And when you get there, just go in. You can register for the event. The event is totally free. The training is totally free. You have the opportunity to make a donation if you want to. You do not have to. It is totally free. You can just uncheck the box. Super easy. And come and join us on Sunday at 5 p.m. And I will give you more information about going undercover at this event so we can create a large volunteer army that is collecting intelligence all over the country about how the far left is organizing at the No Kings protest based on the ground reporting. Okay. And Moon Goddess, save these questions for the webinar. Okay. You just gotta I will answer all these questions, I promise, but let's save them for the webinar or we can do them another day because we are on a schedule for Spy Stream tonight, guys. Now, before we conclude, we are 14 channel memberships away from our channel membership goal today. Are you guys really going to let me end the stream and go into Spy Stream without donating 14 more channel memberships? I even made the goal smaller today. I made the goal smaller so that we could hit it in an abbreviated time frame because usually we stream for much longer. But guys, we are about to go into Spy Stream. Spy Stream is when we go and we watch live leftist organizing calls live as they are happening. Tonight, we have a double feature Spy Stream. What that means is we are going to watch 2 leftist organizing calls back to back. Spy Stream tonight and for the foreseeable future will be a supporter exclusive. There are reasons for this. I will share the reasons another time. W's to Stacy donating a channel membership. W's to Lago donating a channel membership. Really appreciate it. Guys, I would really like to hit the 50 channel membership goal before we end the stream. Can I get some intrepid warriors to donate 12 more channel memberships so we can invite 12 more people to Spy Stream? Andre, look how far conservatives let the far left win. Okay, I'll donate this to a channel membership. Thank you for that. We got W's to Valkyrie in the chat donating a channel membership. Guys, we need 10 more. We need 10 more. 10 more. I'm just going to hang out here for a second, see if we get those 10. I would be really disappointed and angry, quite frankly, if you guys let me go into a double feature Spy Stream without hitting this goal. I know you can do it. Guys, if you are new to the channel, W's to Loki in the chat. Yo, Malcolm and Falls Nuts. Yo, let's give both Malcolm and Fosnots credit. They literally donated 10 channel memberships at exactly the same time. So not only are we welcoming 40 people in, we are welcoming actually 61. Actually, 61. We surpassed the goal thanks to the generous contributions of Malcolm and Fosnauts. We appreciate you guys. Massive, massive W's. Okay, if you guys are a member of the Substack and you're a paying supporter over there, you can find your spy stream information over there. If you have just been gifted a channel membership, here's what you do. Peggy, W's to Peggy, donating a channel membership. Thank you, Peggy. I really, really appreciate it, girl. Thank you. Thank you. We got 62 new channel members. That's rad. Guys, if you are a new channel member, what you do is you go to my channel homepage, youtube.com/@DrKarlynB. You go to the post tab. That is where you will find the spy stream information if you are a channel member on the channel. W's to Liberty. Thank you so much for the channel membership, bro. Really do appreciate that. Yup, we're going to watch that later. We're not going to watch that right now. I wish we could watch it right now. I really wish we could, but we're doing spy stream. So we're going to go watch a live leftist training. We'll catch up with Tucker and Joe Kent later, possibly tomorrow, probably tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But guys, right now, what I do need to do is I do need to end this stream. We're going to be getting started on spy stream in a couple minutes. I will see you guys on the other side. You can find the link wherever you are a supporter. Welcome to all the new channel members. Thank you to everyone who donated channel memberships today. You guys rock. I really do appreciate you supporting my work and inviting more people into Spy Stream. And I will see you guys on the other side. All right? Take care. Where's my outro video? There it is. We'll see you guys soon.
How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital.
That's difficult to answer.